Hello, sir. Good morning.
Hi there, Inda. Good morning. uh, I was busy actually, so that's why we delayed the class.
No problem, sir.
Uh,
Today it's announcement or something else?
yeah, enhancement only.
Okay, okay. Fine, sir.
Um, but actual problem is at this moment, maybe Amara
Uh-huh.
Prasanna may not understand what is this concept actually. You are expert in,
Oh,
you know that enhancements and everything, but these people for them it's
yeah.
completely new.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Fine, fine.
so just I will start with the basics. Amar, if you understand, it's okay, but after some time you will know that what is this enhancement, but at this time
Sure.
just check that what is this feature and what we can do. Okay,
Okay,
don't
sir. Sure,
think
sure.
too much about this one. Okay, the remaining things are
Okay.
important for you people, but for Dhirendra
Yeah, yeah.
it is important actually.
Sure, sure. Okay, sir.
So what they are telling in case of a sales order, so already SAP given some fields. They have given 163 fields. So suddenly what they did, our Indian people, they introduced a GST concept. Okay, so in the beginning SAP doesn't know that in India they will introduce a GST that is playing the main role or something. So that means we need some additional fields in the SAP standard T code or standard process. So for that purpose, what we had to do in a normal case, we have to copy the standard program and we have to customize the program. It is very difficult actually. We can't simply copy SAP standard functionality. Why? Because in the behind that program, so many calculations will be there, complex code will be there. If you touch the code in a wrong place, then entire functionality will fail. So because of that reason, SAP given one possibility without touching the existing functionality, you can enhance. Enhance means you can add something additional. So here, in case of a sales order, GST is the additional field for India people only. That GST is playing the role. So I can add GST field in the existing transaction, existing table, existing functionality without disturbing the existing functionality. We can add something. They have given some options. Okay, so in those options, what are the options they have provided? Okay, so here we are having the three options. First one is exits. So what this exit will do, we'll write our code in forms or function modules. So in these two places, so they will give some option to add your own code. So in the exits, in the routines are function modules. So in the background, these function modules will call in SAP standard functionality. Only blank code will be there. You can add your own code. So this is one option. Another option is baddies. So baddies is methods. This is another. And the third one is implicit enhancements. So they have given three options. So you can enhance by using exits or a baddies or implicit enhancements. So what is the difference between these two? So in the beginning of SAP, so they have given only exits. So inside SAP standard functionality, if 10,000 lines of code is there, then every 1,000 line, they have given a small gap where you can insert your code. So that's why they have given just like out of 10,000 lines, you have given only 10 places where you can add your code. In the later on, what they did, they have introduced this this baddie, and they have given more places. Like instead of 10, they have given 50 places. So if you give more options, then it will be more flexible. And in the recent days, they have added one more functionality, implicit enhancements. Here they have given 100 places. So here it's a more flexible actually. So that's why in out of 10,000 lines, they have given every 1,000 line you have one gap where you can write the code. In after the baddies, every 2,000 lines you have sorry every 200 lines. 2,000 means every 200 line you will have code. Here every 100 line you are having the code. Like means so they have given more options to insert your code actually. So this is the functional. So depends on your requirement. First we'll check for the Exit, is there any exit relevant to our functionality? If it is not there, then we'll go to the baddie, and if it is not there, then we'll go to the implicit enhancement. Okay, so that is the options actually. So depends on, this is not fixed in all the cases. We are not using exit, in all the cases we are not using a baddie, in all the cases we are not using implicit enhancement. Depends on the possible options for the particular T code, what are the options available. So based on that, we'll use that functionality. So we are just adding something to the existing functionality. So for that purpose, so now we are telling, like, in case of a sales order, I need two more fields. So if you click on this button, if you normally in case of a G table, what we'll do, we'll click on a change option and we'll try to insert. But if you try to change this one, it is asking for the access key. That means you don't have option to edit standard. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to use append structure concept. Last time I clicked on this option, somewhere it's failed actually. Why? Because at the time of activation, some issues came and it failed. So that's why yesterday I created one structure and just tested, is it working as per the requirement or not. So if you want to add additional fields to the standard, how we will add? Let's say in the interview, they will ask that, people will simply tell that, okay, I will click on a change button, I can add. No, it's not possible. Only for G table you can click on this button and you can add, but for standard it's not allowing. Why? Because if I give this option to edit, if you remove this one, then that entire functionality will fail. Okay, so that's why they are not giving this change option. So for that purpose, then how can we add our fields? We have to click on this append structure. By using append structure, we can add our own fields. What I did, I came here and after that I clicked on this button, create a new append. So then here I can propose a name. Then if you select that, you can add fields. So yesterday what I did, I added our required fields. So I created this one, BD26. So here I added two fields. So if you want to add some more fields, you can add here and activate it. That's all. So how to add new fields to the existing standard table by using append structure concept. This is our append structure. So in this append structure, you will have this button to edit. You can delete and you can add new fields. I just added two fields. One is the starting date for the sales order and expiry date for the sales order. Simply I just added these two fields in the existing standard table. So if you, once I activated, if you come back, you can see those fields at the bottom of your T code. Sorry, bottom of your table. See this. This is our BT26 additional. This is our append structure. Internally, it will add like this. And here, these two fields I added yesterday. So those two fields are appearing here. So likewise, we can add our own fields to the standard table. Any doubts in this?
No, sir. Clear.
Hmm. Amar?
Yeah, sir. No, sir.
Uh, so it should be active only. Once we added this functionality, na, if it is not active, if you try to open sales order T code, then it will go for a dump actually. So once you added, you have to activate. Why? Because you are touching the standard functionality. Behind this one, programs are there, transaction codes are there. If you are not activated properly, if you open sales order transaction, it will go for dump. If you remember, last time I tried to add something in the VBAK table. Did you remember? It was taking more time, and finally it is run out. And after that, if you try to open a sales order, it's went for a dump actually.
Yeah, yeah. We added for Mara, right, sir, that day.
Ah, Mara. At the time, it went for a dump actually. Why? Because if you're not
Yeah.
added properly, then it will go for a dump. So in that case, you should take care of this one. It should be active. Otherwise, it will show like a partially active. If it is a partially active, it will disturb the entire existing functionality. In a real-time point of view, simply you can't add. So if it is really required, you have to take the permission. Then only you have to add the required fields, and after that you have to activate the standard table properly. Otherwise, if somebody is trying to create a sales order, then it will go for the dump. You will be responsible for that. So that's why We are not giving a chance to the beginners to enhance any standard functionality. So that's why you are a beginners, you are entering like a 3 years or 4 years experienced persons. So we are not giving a chance. Minimum 5 years experience. They should think about the impact of that. So if I add this one, what is the impact in the standard code? What is the impact in the transaction level? What is the impact in the report level? So likewise, you have to think. So you should have more experience. So in the interview, that's why we are not projecting too much. Right? Because if you project this experience immediately once you onboarded to the project, they will assign something on the enhancement without knowing that if you did something, that entire project, the client will kill everyone. So that is a problem
Yes.
actually. So don't expect like we are expert. We know the basics, but I just did the only small basic things. So like adding a new fields in the existing one, something like that. Okay. Now we added these two fields in the table level. So what is the plan? So if it is in sales order relevant one, if I want to enhance the code, always it is a fixed actually. We are having one program, SC38. What is the program behind that sales order? From that, all the includes will be there in this particular program, MV45 AFZZ. So normally what we'll do, we'll go there. So here you can see that now what we are doing, we are talking about sales order header. So we are talking about the fields in the user exit VBAK. So if you want to add our two fields, now what we added VBAK hyphen, those two fields. What are the fields? GGB date and GGE date. So if you want to fill, so we'll write our code here actually. In a real time point of view, if you we'll click on this button, then it will ask for the access key. Then we'll send this information to the basis people. They will provide the access key. Then immediately you can edit the program. But here this is a dummy system. We don't have any basis people to edit, give this access. So that's why we are not able to edit directly. But in a real time point of view, normally in the interview also we'll project like, okay, I have enhanced, I have added some G fields in the VBAK table and I populated those values from MV45AFJZ. So then in a real time point of view, once they provided the key and you will come here and you will, it will give an option. Once you enter the key, na, so you will get an option. Then immediately we can come here and then we can edit. But at this moment, we don't have that option. But in a real time, we'll ask the basis people to provide the access. They will give that. So, but the here I don't have that option. So I'm looking for the alternative. So first what I will try, I tried with this exit. So we don't have any basis people. So that's why we're not able to do. Then I am checking this option, implicit enhancements, the third option. So how I am doing? So I came here. So I want to edit this program. Then click on the spiral button, spiral. So if you don't know these enhancements, don't do any experiments. Don't practice anything. Just theoretically learn. Okay. Just see the result of this one. Click on this enhance button. Once you click on that button, come to edit and enhancement operations. In that, what you want to do, you want to see that where I can add my code. So that is show implicit enhancement options. Click on this one. So now this symbol, that comma symbol indicating that you are having one option to edit here. So what I'm doing, I'm just right clicking on this one, enhancement options, create implementation. So here, what I want to do, I want to do some coding. So now click on this button. Okay. Now I came here. So here I can add my code. So what is my plan? For this particular field, VBAK hyphen GGBDAT. VBAK hyphen GG begin date should be just like some. What is the begin date? Function people will tell that it depends on the requirement. Time being, I'm just giving side atom today's date. Okay. At the same time, VBAK hyphen GG the second field end date equal to side atom, that means today's date plus 30 days. Just like this is simple scenario, but a real time point of view, they will tell that what is the requirement and what are the values we want to populate. But for testing purpose, I'm just taken two fields. So here in a first field, I'm just taking when you are created a sales order. Today you are created a sales order. Then what is this end date? So when you want to add this end date. So for this sales order, maximum period is 30 days. So we are just giving some range for the sales order. So within 30 days, we are going to close the sales order. Otherwise, we'll delete a sales order or something like that. So that is a big functionality. So what is the code we want to write inside that one? That is pure ABAP. How you how we are reaching to that point, that is the enhancement. So I just clicked on the spiral button, after that navigated from here. That is the enhancement. Once you reach it to this place, that is a pure ABAP. Okay, enhancement is a simple actually. Once you reach it the place, business people will give what is the logic you want to write. So they will give that information. Based on that, you are writing. That is a pure ABAP. So how to edit the standard, what are the options are available, that is the enhancement. So enhancement is simple. If you don't know that how to write a code here, that is pure ABAP actually. So this enhancement point, these options you can get from net. But what, how to prepare the value, or sometimes we have to write a select queries, and based on that we have to do some calculations. Based on that we want to go inside. Okay, so that is important actually. So people will think like, okay, enhancement is a complex, and that is very important. Reaching to this place is normal. After that, you have to write your own code. That depends on your skill set. How many lines we added here? Only two lines. But in our program, how many lines we added? So many lines. In a real-time point of view, sometimes we'll develop a code for 10,000 lines. In case of enhancement, maximum we'll write 100 lines. So the small logic will implement. To reach this place, once you reach it, that is simple actually. So finding this place is important. So now just enhance, activate this one. So here you can see that active version. Inactive it is showing, it should be in a active stage. In the interview also you can tell like, okay, as per my customer requirement, I added two G fields in the standard table, and by using that implicit enhancement, I just populated values. So that is simple. You can add one object in the resume. It's activating.
Yes.
Why? Because we're just activating the standard. So it will check that what are the dependent things, everything it will activate in the background. So that's why it will take more time to activate. So now if you check for any sales order or something. So my favorite sales order is 5970. So here if you go to this table, na, so just execute. Is there any record with this information? So here, okay. Now you can check like is there any value? So not equal to space. That means is there any sales order with not equal to space? No sales orders. Why? Because we only added these two fields now. So nobody is populated till now. Nobody used this concept. So now it is activated. So sales order. So in case of a enhancements, always you have to write a conditions. So these enhancements specific to particular plant or something like that. So sometimes they will give that information. So if site T code, current T code equal to VA01, that means this condition only for creation. If you use sales order creation, then only we are filling these two values. At the time of changing, we are not filling. So we are restricting if site code equal to, that means if user is trying to create a sales order by using VA01, then only this code should trigger. In other cases, I don't want to trigger. So that is site code equal to VA01 and so VBAK VKORG. If the sales organization is 1000, then only this trigger this code. So sometimes they will give the conditions. So these things are specific to particular scenario. It is not for all the sales orders. Okay, so they will tell the condition like what is the T code only for this T code, only for this sales organization, only for this customer group, like that they will tell the conditions. So you have to write the condition also. So don't most of the cases will add conditions. These enhancements are specific to particular scenario, particular region, particular plant. So like that they will tell that for which plant we want to apply these changes. This is not specific to other places, just like if it is a GST, only specific to Indian plants, not for other plants. Something like that they will give what is the condition we want to place in the enhancement. So once it is ready, then we can create a sales order. There is any doubt in this approach?
No, I understand. This is what you are doing now, implicit, sir.
Implicit
Uh,
actually. It is
yeah,
easy to do also.
yeah, right. The first one which you said sir, in the forms and in the
Ah,
routine level. Sorry, in function module and in the routine level, that is we are trying to modify existing standard FM and routines, FM
no, no,
and
this is
this
purpose is same. Finally,
purpose is
we
same.
will
Okay.
write the same code. So normally what we'll
Mhm,
do, it is asking for the access key. Then we'll send to
mhm.
the basis people. They will give that access key and we'll paste there. Then directly
Okay,
we
okay.
can edit this program without creating
Mhm.
implicit enhancement.
Okay,
The creation of
okay,
implicit enhancement is not required in that case.
okay.
Directly it will allow
Mhm.
you to edit directly without this one. If you click on change button, directly it will look like this.
Okay,
You
understood,
will add the
understood.
same code inside that.
But baddie comes into the picture. There is already to make the changes inside the include, right, sir? If I'm not wrong,
No, no,
there
no,
is
not
already a
include that
include
inside the
space.
method. Bad is a part of a method.
Understood, sir.
This is these forms and what is that function models. These things will be in the include actually. If you see once you go to that exit, na include will be there.
Mm. Yes, yes.
Here methods will be
Okay.
there. Method.
Okay. Like it is a like advanced version of
Huh,
baddies.
advanced version. So normally why we are preferring the baddies. So for the same scenario, we can do multiple implementations. So like
Right.
if you see
Okay.
this one, only one implementation. Everybody should come
Mhm,
here actually. For 1,000 one type of the implementation, for 2,000 another type of the implementation. Then you have to write a conditions here. But
mhm,
if you use a baddie, we'll create a one implementation for 1,000, one more
mhm,
implementation for 2,000. So we'll add a
mhm,
filter and we'll just
mhm,
trigger like if it's 1,000, then only trigger the first baddie. With 2,000,
mhm.
trigger the second baddie. Like that, you can do the multiple implementations.
Okay. Okay. Understood, sir.
So the concept wise it's the same, but we are using multiple Indian people, one baddie, UK people,
Mhm,
US people. So we'll
mhm,
just give some filter like a company code or something. So in the
mhm,
beginning itself depends on the filter. It will trigger relevant baddie only. If you are having five baddies, it will trigger only
mhm.
one baddie.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
But in case of this one, in this scenario, always it will come here. Internal once it reach you to this, then it will check it's 1,000 or 2,000. You have to write if
Understood, sir.
they need something for a 2,000, you have to write here only. Only one
Mhm.
implementation is allowed. But in case of
Okay.
a
Okay.
baddie, multiple implementations are available. How you'll
Mhm.
do? By using a filter, you will restrict. So if you
Okay.
did multiple implementations, then if you don't have a filter, then there is no use. Filter means here the
Mhm,
condition. So is it a customer group or company code or sales organization? Like that, some filters will be there. So depends on the filter. We just want to trigger only one particular baddie, even though multiple
mhm.
implementations are available.
Okay.
That is the advantage with the baddie.
Yes. Okay.
So our priority always as a function consultant or technical people, so always we'll give the priority for the baddie. If baddie is not
Yes.
available, then only we'll think about exit.
Mhm,
So why? Because multiple options are available. Today I just thought that for India GST introduced. Maybe in
mhm,
US also something they introduce. I can use the same baddie. I can do some different calculation. So if it is a baddie,
mhm,
then only I can do. Otherwise, after some time, I have to come back to this Indian implementation. I have to manipulate something.
mhm.
Instead of that one, we can maintain individually India, US, UK. So we can easily maintain.
Right, sir.
So that is the advantage. Our priority in interview
Mhm,
also they will ask that. Okay, you are having a three options. Which one you will choose? With which option you will set first? Always our priority for the baddie only. So first we'll check for a baddie. For this transaction, any baddies are available. If baddies are not available, then only we'll come to this exit. If exits are not
mhm.
available, then only we'll come to implicit enhancement. So
Uh-huh.
implicit enhancement is easy to develop. At the same time, more risk will be there. If it is always
Right.
easy, with simply getting a job means definitely once you enter into the company, you will lose the job also
Mhm.
without any interview or something. Like means the risk will be there. Here, without
Right, right.
doing anything, we just made a change here. So now it is
Mhm.
activated. At the runtime, if it is what is that? If we did something wrong here, it will impact the entire functionality.
Right,
So it
sir.
is more flexible. At the same time, more risk will be there.
Mhm,
That is the thing actually. This is our least priority.
mhm,
So always we'll give priority for the baddie. From your point of view, if anyone simply tell that I will develop implicit enhancement. Why? Because developer point of view is simple. So don't
mhm,
allow him to develop implicit. Just ask him to check for a baddie.
mhm,
If it is
mhm.
not available, then only ask him to develop implicit enhancement. So you can also demand for the baddie actually.
Right, sir.
Risk will be less. At this moment, the solution is working fine. But at the time of cancellation, it is coming inside, then it will create a problem. If something functionality is different, so
Mhm,
we are just checking only creation functionality. At the time of cancellation or at the time of doing something in the billing level, it will come back to the sales order. reverse sales order something, then at the time of creating a new sales order, it may create a problem also. So the possibility will be there actually. So I faced that problem. Last time I simply created one enhancement for accounting creation or something. At the time of doing a cancellation in some other place, this code is triggering and they are getting a dump.